When she kisses him, he remembers. It's as if his past lives come flooding back to him, much like when we remember who we are by knowing all is love. Welcome to another episode of True Love Talks. This is building on the series that I started for Vlogmas last year. There were several questions that I addressed partially in my last video that I wanted to elaborate on because they're very important questions and they're a stumbling block in overcoming the fear trap. In understanding why this place is traumatic, why does it have evil things in it? And, there's so many questions that people have. And I don't know if I can do this justice without sort of jumping all over the place. In many of my videos, I have said all of this before, and it seems like it just takes multiple tellings of it, perhaps in different ways, in different shapes and forms, in order for people to fully comprehend what I'm saying. As I said in my last video, if you have questions about this place at all, I encourage you to try to answer them yourself. And if you're not getting an answer, reshape your question. Ask a better question. Look to the answer that you want to get and ask the question that directly correlates with that answer. Because a lot of times people don't ask the right question. I've done it many times. Things like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not seeing it? Instead of saying, why am I not seeing it? Asking, how can I see it? What do I need to do or think in order to see it? So there's a difference, but if you are saying things to yourself like, I can't see it, I don't understand, you're putting blocks on yourself. Words cast spells. So you have to be aware of the language that you're using and remove the blocks yourself. One major block is clinging to precious beliefs. I've heard many times people say, I prefer to believe. Sure, you're entitled to believe whatever you like, but if you want the truth, you have to let go of your precious beliefs because the truth doesn't care about your precious beliefs. We're here to purge the lower consciousness. We're here to purge all of our dark thoughts and our ugliness because we fell into lower consciousness. We fell into this carnal mind and believing the physical is real, believing that we're just human, forgetting who we really are. And all of this is written in the stars, the story from start to finish, written in the stars. It's scripted. It's a movie. It's like stick a DVD in the player. It's already written. I've made videos on this too. So, in essence, we came here as creator gods, or created this place as creator gods. It's a dream within a dream. And within that dream, we forgot that it was a dream. We believed this place was real. We believed that we were nothing more than human because we wanted to forget that we are creator gods in order to fully appreciate and enjoy the physical. However, the longer that we are in that mindset, the more we forget our connection with our true selves, who we really are, and we associate with the physical. We think that this physical is who we are. We think that the physical is real and tangible, and that's all there is. The physical, everything here is a microcosm of a macrocosm. It's like Russian dolls. You can find the answers to everything in one thing if you look at it closely enough. A lot of this is beyond the scope of this recording because a lot of people will have questions as to, well, how do you know this? How do you know it is a microcosm of a macrocosm? How do you know that this place is a tarot play? You're going to have to go back and watch my older videos. Everything contains the Zodiac. Everything contains the stars. They are projecting the story. This story or Taurus is a projection from what is coming from inside the Taurus, in the vortex. All the gods, all the aspects of who we really are contained within the vortex of this Taurus and projected outward onto the screen. They're projected as stars in the Zodiac, and then those stars are projected on the world stage as you and I. If you don't understand the true nature of our reality, it's going to be difficult for you to comprehend what I'm saying. If you don't know that this world is literally a stage and we are all players within a movie, it's going to be hard for you to comprehend what I'm saying. If you're looking at this world as purely physical, it's going to be hard for you. The point of this recording is to explain why bad things happen here. Because so many people are caught up in the bad. There are good things that happen here too, because it is dualistic. The physical is created out of separation. You cannot identify something without separating it from something else. You know that the television is not you. You know that your neighbor is not you. The same goes for numbers and letters and music and color and shape. All of the elements that go into creating this universe, this one song, is a perfect orchestration of creation. Nothing happens here without divine purpose. Everything is part of God, part of you. Universe is you and I-verse, you inverse. There are multiple meanings to all words. And in figuring out the meanings to the words, you can figure out the full context of what the word means. So the reason that things need to be separated here is because it's physical. There's some solidity to it. It's thought taken form. And everything in the physical is connected as well. We just don't remember that it's connected. Everything here is formed from thought, whether you are conscious of it or not. Everything here is created from the tarot. The tarot is simply our way of explaining creation, explaining the world, explaining our journey here. It's not like the tarot came before, but it kind of did, because the tarot represents the gods, because the Zodiac represents the gods. So that's what's meant by the tarot play. The Zodiac is the tarot. The myths are the story of the gods. The gods are representations of the stars, and they are representations of aspects of the vortex that created this place. If you can extract the code from the myths, that's the true essence of this place. So if you look at the Gnostic Gospels, Sophia created Yaldabaoth and was ashamed of it because Yaldabaoth is basically a bad thought, a bad dream, a bad idea. And so she was ashamed of it and cast it aside. But Yaldabaoth exists. You can't ignore it. She created it. It exists. And it started to believe that it was the creator. And it took control of this world. Alice in Wonderland said, if I had a world of my own, everything would be what it isn't. So it's an inversion of our true home. It's created out of heartbreak. This world is created out of heartbreak because heart is the center, the core. When you look at the North Pole, it's the aurora borealis. It's green. Green is the color of the heart chakra. It's fragmented into 7 colors of the rainbow. The primary colors of light is red, blue, and green. The red and the blue represents the polarities, the police, and the green is in the middle. And then in between, on the spectrum, are the other colors. So red represents the lower consciousness, and blue represents the higher consciousness, and green represents the heart, neutral in the middle. The reason this place was created out of heartbreak is because this is a representation of what the real world is not. And the real world is heart. Home is where the heart is. And so if this is a representation of what the world is not, then it has to be created out of heartbreak. And the heart is broken out into 7 colors of the rainbow, which represents the 7 chakras of the body. The 7 chakras are a fragmentation of our emotions. Emotions stem from the heart, what you feel. And so when something happens to you, it will trigger a certain chakra center. You will have desires come from your chakras, You'll have intellectual desires or you'll have carnal desires. You'll have hunger. You'll have desire to speak. If you're not healed wholly in all of your chakras, there's going to be an imbalance. That imbalance is going to manifest outside of yourself so that you can deal with it and heal. In order to heal, you have to be aware. You have to be conscious of what's going on around you. You have to understand, first of all, why you're here, why this stuff is happening to you, and that it is an expression of what is happening within. It is a manifestation of things that you need to deal with in your life, things you need to either conquer or get hold of or resolve or heal. Only you can understand why it's happening. And that way you heal your chakras and you become holy. The things we must heal will manifest outside of us as a gentle nudge at first, but the more we ignore the warning signs, the harsher it will become to jolt us into making a change. Think of it like receiving guidance. Say as you're learning to drive, for instance, and your parent keeps telling you to stop at the stop sign, but you keep rolling through it. Eventually, your parent will yell at you to stop because maybe one day there's a car coming that almost hits you. And if that doesn't jolt you into changing, one day you will get hit. So a lot of the bad things that happen are here to jolt you into changing. A lot of the bad things that happen are self-created. So there's a lot of different things we need to do here in order to elevate ourselves out of the carnal mind, out of the lower consciousness. So bad things happen here based on thought. The thoughts that we have some really ugly, dirty thoughts. And so we're here to resolve those thoughts. They're playing out for us on the stage, on the world stage. They're reflecting back to us all the dirty, ugly thoughts that we collectively have as a society. And some of them are pretty ugly and pretty extreme. And as I've said before, we are inside of a movie. This movie is all around us. It's not just on your television set. It's not just happening on the world stage as the elites are putting on a show for us. That's part of it, but you are in the movie as well. And for a long time, when people said to me, all the world's a stage, I was thinking, well, it's only the elites. The elites are putting on the show. They're the puppets, right? And then I realized, no, it's all of us. We're all in the movie. But for some reason, we decided to forget who we are. We decided to surrender our power. We decided to get lost in the movie and believe that we are real, human, physical beings. Because we wanted to experience this place. We wanted to know what it's like to not be who we are, which is really quite a miracle. It's quite a phenomenal thing. However, the way that these truther shills position it is that this place is a prison and this place is evil and we have to get out of here, which I'll address later on. So bad things happen here because of our thoughts, our collective thoughts. It's part of the movie. Bad things happen here partly because they're a reminder to us in order to wake us up so we can return home. Because if this place was a paradise, we would never wake up. We would never return home. We would get lost in here forever. And that's not the purpose of being here. The purpose of being here is to resolve our dirty, ugly thoughts and to experience this world fully. You know, some people want to experience the dirty, ugly things. They're going to have to resolve something within themselves. Like the fact that they want to experience those things is very telling that there's something within them that they need to resolve. There are people who have been very self-abusive and stuck in a very low place, a very dark place. But they're given another chance. They use their dark experiences as a way of relating to people who are going through that experience so they can uplift them and help them. They use that dark experience as a way of appreciating what they have now, appreciating being healthy and whole. There are many reasons why people need to experience these dark, dangerous, horrible things. But if you talk to somebody who is going through something dark and dangerous and horrible, and you ask them if they want this experience, they would say no. But you ask somebody on the other side of that experience who's done something with their life as a result, if they would change anything, and chances are they would say no, because they've learned to heal and they've learned to use that experience in a beneficial way, which means that they've taken a negative and turned it into a positive. They have gone through the alchemical process. They've realized that negative experience is just a perception. So yes, horrible things happen to people, but as a result of this dualistic world we live in, every negative thing, everything that we perceive to be negative, can be turned into a positive. Therefore, it cannot possibly be all bad. So there are variations of bad and good. You have a spectrum, just like the rainbow. And if, say, something purely evil resides in the red and something purely good resides in the violet, and too much of a good thing can be seen as bad. So if you have good intentions, we just went through an experience in 2020 where a lot of people had good intentions because they were terrified of this icky bugaboo, and they wanted to keep their people safe. They wanted to protect their families. They wanted to protect themselves. They wanted to protect their children. And in the name of trying to do the right thing, they became evil. They ostracized people. They chastised people. They blocked them out of employment. They treated them as less than. They lost their humanity. And yet, if you ask them, they think they did the right thing. You ask the people on the receiving end of it, and they think that these people turned evil. It's all perspective. You ask people who go to war, the reason that they want to go to war isn't to go and kill people. The reason they want to go to war is to defend their country because it's something they believe in. They want to defend their freedom because it's something they believe in. Unfortunately, when they actually go to battle and have to face the horrors of what that actually means, they don't really think about that. Then there are the people who get pulled into war through conscription, who don't really want to be there, who probably go out of their way to avoid battle, to avoid combat, to avoid hurting anybody because it goes against what they believe. Unfortunately, because this place is physical, we have things like nationalism, patriotism, standing up for your rights, standing up for your freedom, standing up for what you really believe in, because, those things are important, but it's more important that you stand up for your personal beliefs than you stand up for the beliefs of somebody else or the beliefs of a country that doesn't even exist. It's a figment of our imagination. It's a corporation or a collective body of people with this sort of sense of culture. So what exactly are you standing up against? The example of going to war or what happened in 2020 shows how the duality creates the evil, because one side is fighting the other, and both are an illusion, merely two sides of the same coin. No one is purely evil, and no one perceived by others as evil perceives themselves as such. The only reason evil exists is because we perceive it as evil. But then the argument becomes, but there are things that are objectively evil, like murder or any other violent action. But once again, that's perspective. You are casting judgment on something as evil is what makes it evil. Killing people in a war is bad. So are soldiers to be considered evil for going to war? People are willingly participating because they view it as defending something honorable. Therefore, it's not bad, not to them. So then killing is not objectively evil, is it? Evil only exists so long as we have this battle of duality of one side versus the other. So I'm going to have to break this into fragments, and I knew I was going to have to because it's a very big topic. I'm going to continue this in the next episode. If you like this video, please show your support for my channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, contribute. Contributions over $15 will receive a link to the Johnny Depp Dark Shadows material, so please be sure to include your email address. Kindly visit my website, subscribe to my backup channels, join the Discord group. All links are in the description box below. Thanks for listening. Hope you're having a great day. Bye for now.